Hey everybody, this is Dilyana and Mileva, and I'm excited to bring you Menopause Made Easy, a podcast designed to provide you tips and strategy to navigate the changes in woman's body, mind and spirit with more grace and ease. I appreciate you tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe and turn on your notifications so you are updated of each episode release. Alright, let's dive in. Welcome everyone for another episode of Menopause Made Easy. Today I have another amazing guest. She's a marvelous, miraculous menopause maven because she combined her experience and her certification to assist women to embrace their menopause, transition and reduce all the ailments and thrive during this period. She's really a help with the pelvic floor, which I like very much because it's something that many women struggle with and many women have issue in this area. So I would like to discuss with her a little bit more about her expertise. So welcome Dionne Roberts today, and we're going to discuss how you can thrive through menopause. Welcome Dionne to my show, and you can also introduce yourself just a little bit more, how you help women during menopause.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you for having me. I really, really appreciate you having me on your show. I have been following your podcast for quite some time and I love it. So thank you so much for having me here today. So I help women in 3 ways. So in reference to menopause, I hold what's called menopause circles. I hold them in person as well as online. So this is both for women that have gone into menopause naturally, as well as women that's gone into menopause surgically. A menopause circle allows a woman to be seen, to be heard, and to be nurtured because we are givers. We are a vessel. And so much of our life is filled with giving until there's nothing left of us. And when we enter menopause, it's a time when this really raises up within us and we become this lioness of this roar when we realize how empty our cups are. So menopause circles is a way of replenishing a woman in that period of time. Secondly, I help with one-to-one coaching, taking them from surviving into thriving. And thirdly, I specialize with hysterectomy women specifically. And that's helping them recover after their surgery and to remove what's known as scar tissue adhesions around their abdomen after they've had open surgery or whether it was laparoscopic. These scar tissues really can exist, live within us until we pass and contribute to so many different pains, illnesses, discomfort, and the reduction of our life and the aging process of us quickly if these scar tissues aren't addressed. So that's also one of the ways in which I help women, as well as with their sleep with my formula.
Do you find that there's some difference between hysterectomy and the menopause after that and the natural menopause?
Yeah, there's a huge difference. Dr. Christina Northrup gives a really amazing analogy. It's brilliant. And because I've been to Nepal, which I thought I was going to go trekking, it really appealed to me. She said, when you go through menopause naturally, and you go through the 3 trimesters of menopause, pre-menopause and post, it's kind of like taking a long hike up into the Himalayas. And so your body, as you're walking, as you're trekking, gets the chance to climatize with the high altitude. And so you can rest and you're taking in the stars. And then when you have some women that are still going through it naturally, but it feels like it's hit them like a wall, like a marathon. And their trek to the Himalayas, instead of taking 4 days, it takes 3 days. And therefore, they're always trying to catch up with their breath because they're struggling that much. And some surgical menopause can be like that as well, especially if it's keyhole or robotic, or if they've had a hysterectomy, but they still have their ovaries intact. And then you have what I had, which is called a radical hysterectomy, whereby everything is removed. I had 6.5 organs removed and the mass of tumors, which was the size of a melon. And this is like taking a helicopter to the Himalayas. And so you fly there, you're there in half an hour, you get out of the helicopter and you just drop because your body and mind has had no time to acclimatize on the way, and you're gasping for air, you're gasping for oxygen. And that's what surgical menopause for someone who's had a total or radical hysterectomy can be like.
Yeah, it's very well described. So you can imagine very well what's the difference. How did you get in the coaching?
I've always disliked the word coaching previously, and counseling I was for, psychotherapy I was for. And when the coaching world happened in the 80s, I was like, these people are just telling people what to do with their lives. Like, isn't that bossy? Isn't that rude? And so when I actually became a coach, I kind of forgot about all of that, because the desire to serve women who had gone through that helicopter ride like I had just took over. And it was later on that I remembered this previous mindset when I had to choose my name, whether to call myself a coach or a maven or an assistant or help or transformation or something. And so it started by not being able to sleep. And that was the first ailment that I had. So it's 2 weeks after surgery, whereby you need your sleep to heal. And sleep just did not come to visit me. So it was about healing myself and going out to get the training that I needed to get to heal myself. And then from that came, what else do I need to do to work on myself? And what's the next thing? And what's the next thing? And that's how all my programs became into being.
Why menopause?
When I realized how difficult it was to actually get help, when I realized that there was nothing out there that was helping women. Right now it's quite, menopause is quite hot as a topic. But even up until the beginning of the pandemic, there was nothing. So it's literally only been 18 months, 2 years. And so in that scrabbling around of looking for things to help myself heal, I knew that if I'm struggling, and I've been in the complementary alternative medicine profession for 27 years. So if I'm struggling to find things to help myself, then I'm sure other menopausal women is going through the same journey.
It's very true for myself, because I was dismissed by the doctors, and I find out also that so many women out there struggle to find a solution. They don't know where to go, with who to speak, some kind of underserved, maybe you can say that, during this age. So yeah, it's a time to start speak about, start to share and give a voice a little bit what's going on. So the people know around us in the workplace, specifically in the workplace, they need to hear us, what we're going through, and maybe change the culture of the company around that.
And changing facilities within the workplace, changing access, bring in a new fresh mind of working in a flexible way. And I think the pandemic has helped with that somewhat. Previously, the online world was not seen as something for everybody. And so many companies have embraced it. So giving women the ability to be able to work from home when she needs to, and not just seen as when one is pregnant, but also in this life equally is just as important. And that access should be there as well.
Exactly. The way they treat women going through menopause need to change for sure. Yeah, you need to speak more. I'm just aware that the more we speak, we can change a lot of things around misconception, the myth, the way they treat the women in the workplace, this. So how do you help menopause women? You already say about the circles, about your program. Do you work on something right now? Do you have any project that's coming up, something new that's coming up?
Yeah, well, twice a year, I run my program specifically for women who are struggling to heal their scars and their wounds from the inside out. These are the adhesions that are left over from surgery that obstruct bowel and bladder. A woman experiences this through frequent urination, difficulty in opening one's bowels, painful sex, also could be experienced through the digestive system not being the same, the shrinking of the abdomen and the pain that has caused. if one had tumors far up above the navel, obstructing the stomach, then scar tissue is also around that area as well, which is why it can affect one's gut as well. Also affects walking and mobility because one's had their ovaries removed, which is quite close to the groin and the hip area. And then it also affects the whole fascia system, which just wraps around the abdomen and the pelvic. So in the program is about clearing up and erasing, melting down the scar tissue and allowing a woman to feel and live with more comfort, with more ease, with more mobility, being able to breathe down there, and also being able to enjoy intimacy once again as well.
I know that is a huge problem with the intimacy and the relationship that can affect a lot of relationship because of this problem. It's so good that you'd help with this because not so many people help with specifically with that. So you do only group settings or you work also one-on-one?
So in reference to the hysterectomy program, that's a group setting. It's a 6-week course, a 6 weeks program that happens every autumn and every spring. And then my one-to-one work is with menopausal women, also whether they're surgical or whether they're natural, entering into it surgically or naturally. And I help them. We start from where they're at. So if it's pain, then that's where we start with. If it's sleep, if it's diet, nutrition, if it's mobility, weight, wherever it is that they need to start from, that's where we go from. And that's also the mind as well. When I say the mind, I mean the emotional state of anxiety, the palpitations, the low mood, the low drive. We can start there as well. This is what I call the process of grief. And it's honoring that process of grief that happens within menopause is the module that we will start at. And then we will work through to get her to that point of thriving.
And how they get to the program? Do you suggest that they schedule a discovery call with you or you have some masterclass or workshop previous that? How is the best way that they can talk with you about how they can enroll?
Good question. Thank you, Dilyana. They can find me, especially at that point that I just made about grief. So if they want to get into my world, my ecosystem, then please go to www.3secretsaboutmenopause.com. And that allows you to enter my ecosystem. You'll get 3 videos that would instruct you and share with you things that your doctor won't talk about, things that you may feel too embarrassed to mention in reference to your friends and your family. Subjects that are taboo are dealt with and that are there. And if you're a surgical menopause woman and you want to join us on the program, either in autumn or spring, then you can go to www.HAWS, which stands for Heal Abdominal Wounds and Scars Program.com. And that's where you can find me. But in reference to social media, just look out for Menopause and Hyster Sisters Club and you'll find me there.
Beautiful. Again, your website for the listeners?
www.3secretsaboutmenopause.com.
Okay. I hope that you join Dionne and learn about how you can help yourself. Thank you so much, Dionne. If you have one thing to wrap up today that you can suggest the women out there going through a hysterectomy, what they need to start to heal, what you can suggest?
Listen to your body. Put aside the leaflets that is telling you that you should be at this stage at this week or that stage at that week. That was designed for society to function. That's your workplace, your HR team, your marriage, how much sick pay you can get. We're also designed by men as well. Put aside those leaflets and listen to your body. Your body will tell you when it's ready to be intimate. Your body would tell you how much it's okay to eat, how much you can digest. Your body would tell you how far you can walk today. Your body would tell you how much rest you need and when you need to rest. And your body would tell you when it's ready.
Beautiful. Listen to your body, everyone out there. I take one step at a time. Thank you so much to listeners today again. Thank you so much, Dionne, to grace this show with your presence and your wisdom. And I hope all the listeners gonna keep listen and share this information for everyone that they need to hear how they can heal themselves going through surgical menopause. Thank you. Thank you for tuning into Menopause Made Easy. You can check out more episodes on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and your favorite podcast apps. Check out the show notes for any website linked to this episode, including where to connect with me on social media. I appreciate you tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you'll be updated of each episode release. And visit me at menopausesupportacademy.com for all podcast updates as well. Appreciate you dropping by.